movie that had me really intrigued ever since its first look came out last year was the story of Nambi Narayanan, written, directed and starring R. Madhavan. A biopic in its truest sense, R. Madhavan has literally spent over 5 years with the project making sure that this story of a celebrated Indian scientist and the astonishing and heartbreaking journey he has experienced gets told to the world. The film focuses on the extremely talented man and the several milestones he achieved in his professional life, only to be accused of espionage against the country that he wanted to serve and to take to new heights in terms of space research and technology. From being recognized and acknowledged for his bright mind by Vikram Sarabhai, graduating with a master's from Princeton University in a record-breaking 10 months, refusing a job offer to NASA only to work towards the advancement of space research with ISRO, the man was the key element working towards creating cryogenic engines to power rockets in order to enable Indian satellites to launch in space. At the young age of 25, the man was handling and leading several departments, and as progression was taking place at a rapid pace and India was becoming a global force to be reckoned with, an unfortunate day of a knock on the man's door leading to 50 days of torture, questioning and accusation with little to no evidence would not only ruin his personal and professional career but take India back 15 years of whatever milestones it was in full swing of achieving with respect to space research. The effort that has been made by R. Madhavan to make sure this project materializes into a reality has been a sight to see. But what is heartbreaking is that I sat in the theatre for a morning show. There was little to no takers for this story that many should know about. I hope the film develops enough word of mouth over the course of the coming days and this film garners a life of its own. And here's me doing my bit to tell you the good and bad aspects of Rocketry so that you guys can ultimately decide whether to watch it in theatres or not. The underwhelming aspects. Supporting cast and extras. The case of Indian films and the underwhelming performances of foreign actors continues with this movie as well. While it is not as jarring as other ventures where they stick out like mere caricatures, you can definitely make out that individuals are playing prototypes from different countries rather than standing out as individuals. You've got a nosy, inquisitive Frenchman, an extremely attractive and confident Russian woman, an inconspicuous Russian man, and all of these characters don't seem like your regular people you may chat up with, but an idea of how people from that nationality may be or act like. The couple that supports Nambi for his thesis standing out as the only organic and real portrayals from the foreign actors. If you look at the ISRO team as well, some of the performances definitely become slightly dramatic than what the movie demands. The Sikh character in this film shouting "You're the man" to Nambi with every breakthrough really does get on your nerves. I can thankfully say that the element is not jarring enough to discredit the effort and overall quality of the movie. Technical details and unsolicited perspective. The film has some amateur flaws from an editing standpoint that does not allow it to have the crisp and almost seamless experience while watching it. Many of the scene transitions are just cross dissolves or blackouts that move on to the next event. This almost gives it a treatment of chapters being covered rather than an organic covering of events in chronological order. The locations are absolutely spectacularly shot by DOP Sirsha Roy, but the editing of the film could have been definitely more slick to engage the audience furthermore. I know that the film is to be judged for what I have seen versus what I think should have been the prime focus, but I had to mention this as a point, and you can take it or leave it. But the prosecution and false claims against Nambi Narayan only become the prime focus in the final act, taking a backseat holistically, and the lens and research he has done over the years across continents take center stage. But I think the film would have been far more engaging if the false accusations became the prime focus, as the movie really becomes interesting in its final 40 minutes and becomes a commentary on how we vilify and target our own heroes and the conspiracies that may have been a trigger to ruin so many lives. I say this strictly from an engagement standpoint for the audience, something for which I will expand on in the conclusion. The good. The writing. What is absolutely praiseworthy about a creator like R. Madhavan is that he sticks to his convictions regarding the storytelling of this film. He does not want to dumb down concepts just to make the film entertaining or palatable for the masses. His narrative is information dense and several terminologies regarding space research and technology are flung around for the audience to understand that this is how the story needs to be told. Unlike Mission Mangal that really simplified rather complex topics almost to a laughable level, Madhavan through his writing makes sure that there is no stone unturned in regards to truly showcasing the bright mind of Nambi Narayan. Following his journey working under Vikram Sarabhai, his experience in Princeton, his return to India and working with ISRO, his tireless attempt at procuring technology from across Europe, and the unfortunate latter half of his life embroiled in false accusations really make this film to be an extremely well-researched movie. Human nature. I think the film successfully provides a commentary on our own kind, on what we consider as priorities in life, how we quickly jump to conclusions and vilify our own heroes, how we give the mantle for certain publications to be the harbingers of truth, only in retrospect to realize that the herd does first and thinks later. The film really did make me think about so many hypotheticals if the false accusations against the scientists did not exist. Where would India be from a scientific perspective today? What would be the untapped potential of India for those 16 years that were lost? What is it about the bright minds in the country that constantly get questioned about their sensibility and loyalty towards their soil? The film, especially in the second half, really hones in on the same, making it for a really compelling commentary on a life that was absolutely wasted for no fault of his. Performances. This is truly a triumphant project for a man like R. Madhavan. The level of dedication as a writer-director and the transformative skills as an actor to play a man across decades really did make me want to stand up and clap for the man. It really takes someone crazy in the most respectful sense to give 5 years to a project and do so with utmost conviction. The man stands out as the anchor of the ship throughout the film, really shining especially in the second half, as he gets prosecuted and beaten up for something he has no idea about. Simran as the wife is brilliant in this film, really showcasing the trauma that loved ones undergo when their partners, especially public figures, are put on pitchforks ready to be decimated by the wrath of the masses. Sam Mohan as Unni really does leave a lasting impression, sharing one of the most emotional moments from the film with R. Madhavan in the second half in the police station. It's a sign of benevolence and pure love for Shah Rukh Khan and Suriya to do what they have done for this film, and they really do contribute a beautiful conclusion to this fitting tribute. A biopic in its truest sense. We as an Indian audience have become so accustomed to the beats of biopics that it almost becomes nauseatingly boring. This is not to crap on the beautiful journeys of those said individuals, but how the filmmaking gets so repetitive from a screenplay perspective that you just have to change profession and it just holistically becomes a story of triumph and nothing else. Why Rocketry stays far away from those expected beats is all to do with R. Madhavan's intention, and it is solely to tell you how exactly everything happened. There is not a divergence into romantic tracks. It does not have to break its screenplay just to lend to a montage with songs. It truly just explores the narrative of a bright man, his achievements, and how he was wronged by the system and people he wanted to serve. The fight keeps on going on when it comes to the life of Nambi Narayanan, and where most biopics give you a sense of closure and inspiration, Rocketry really makes you have a bittersweet feeling of a story of sheer mistreatment of our own bright minds, and the question whether we as Indians are our worst enemies. The film has the ability to make you have a sinking feeling of what transpired in this person's life, almost making you dismiss certain sequences as too far-fetched or over the top. But that's how shocking it really is, making it for a story to be experienced on the big screen, because the level of detailing and the sheer conviction of a man like R. Madhavan is as clear as day. Trust only Shah Rukh Khan to make you cry in its conclusion, and I hear Surya's cameo in the Tamil version had the same impact. Rocketry faces a catch-22 situation. In the pursuit of factual accuracy and authenticity, it does not provide a commercial entertainer that most people step in for the theatre nowadays. I personally understand its importance, a story most Indians don't know about, but I also acknowledge the medium and what audiences are seeking for with the big cinema experience. Rocketry delivered in many aspects for me, but I very well know that there will be few takers for the sheer effort and vision of R. Madhavan that has become a reality. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about the movie. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.